Hi, everyone. My name is Kevin Vieira, and my son Joseph was born with a degree of cerebral palsy that affects his ability to independently drink. That's because he can't hold a cup to effectively drink from it, and he can't use a straw because he can't produce sufficient suction to make that a viable solution. And so Joseph is reliant on others holding a cup to his mouth whenever he needs a drink. And there are thousands and thousands of Josephs out there whose existing medical condition prevents them from independently and safely doing one of the most important, healthiest things a person can do. And our family, like many others who have loved ones facing drinking challenges, has spent hundreds and hundreds of hours in hospital and clinical settings being introduced to existing drinking aids and potential solutions without any success. And that's because while existing drinking aids may address one issue, they don't address all of the challenges someone may be facing. So, for example, there are cups out there with lids with small openings to prevent or to limit fluid flow, and that's great to help assist someone with preventing choking. But those cups, even though they may have large handles on them, they can't be effectively picked up by my son and placed to his mouth. So that's not an independent solution for him. And there are automated cups out there that pump fluid through straws. Also a great idea, but the ones out there don't regulate fluid flow sufficiently for individuals with poor swallowing functionality to prevent choking, and therefore they can't be utilized for those individuals. And also, those cups need to be picked up, and they can't be utilized by folks who have poor hand and arm coordination. And as a result, individuals like my son continue to drink out of conventional cups, often held by others where the flow of fluids cannot be effectively controlled, which often leads to choking, spillage, and dehydration, because you can't really be sure how much someone is drinking. And so one day my son Joseph, who was about 12 at the time, he's 15 now, came to me and asked a simple question. Dad, can we do something about this? And so the idea of a truly accessible cup was born. And here it is. We call it the Accessa Cup, and it incorporates Joseph's ideas as well as feedback from some of Joseph's peers with drinking challenges, as well as feedback from various eating and drinking experts. Joseph and I designed and modeled the cup in 3D software, CAD to be specific, something neither of us have ever done before or worked in before. We purchased a 3D printer and became proficient in that technology because it would have been inefficient, impractical, super expensive for us to print this anywhere but here, because there were times when our printer was going around the clock because we were just, in that phase where we're just developing prototypes. So, massive learning curve. And then there was as well the matter of the electronics. Unfortunately, Joseph is very adept and skilled with electricity and electronics. So he took the lead very much in that part of the project. And I can tell you, this would not have seen the light of day if not for Joseph's expertise. So thank you, Joseph. And now I just want to do a quick demo on how this thing works. So right now it's plugged in. It runs on a rechargeable battery. I don't know if you can see the charger, but I just plugged it out, and as you can see, it's still plugged in. I've got this large control button plugged in to the cup. Hopefully you can hear that. And that's operating the pump. Also worth noting is there are two buttons on this cup which control the level of flow. The cup has 3 levels. So if the user, finds a setting that they like, the cup will remember it. So if you turn the cup off and on, it'll always remember your level. So you never have to set it again. So I would, if Joseph needs to use the large button, I will plug this in for him and he can utilize it because it's difficult for him to plug it in. But once it's plugged in, I can leave Joseph with the cup and knowing he can drink safely and independently. We've also included the control buttons on the cup itself. So if Joseph's feeling okay, his hands are feeling good, and he's not too tired, he doesn't mind utilizing these smaller buttons on here. So the option is there. And Joseph can, use a finger or maybe sometimes a knuckle to get that working. But the option is there. So just a quick demo on the 3 settings that we've got. I'm just going to put this cup here. Hopefully you can see the water coming out of this. We've included the straw in here. This is a food safe, flexible straw. This is, again, is something we're going to have to sort of work, maybe flesh out this idea a bit more. But the cup is made with food safe materials, food safe pump, to ensure its safety. And here we go. Hopefully you can see where we're at. We're at number 3 right now. And if I push the pump, number 3, and I'll just operate it with this. This is number 2, and this is number 1 for individuals who require that limited flow. That's the level that they are comfortable with. And again, it will remember if that's what you need. So if you need single drops, this cup can give that to you. So again, it's got a wide base, difficult to knock over. You don't have to pick it up. It's got this large control button, food safe materials. This is something we will make wireless in the future. That's something for us to develop, ongoing in the process. But I can tell you this, to leave Joseph in a room with this cup, knowing he can drink safely and independently, is a wonderful thing. And, in the past, when he was reliant on others, Joseph might drink a half of one of these at a time, maybe one, and there'd be a lot of spillage. The amount that Joseph drinks when he is reliant on himself is unbelievable compared to what he drank before. He'll drink a whole cup. This holds about half a liter. He'll drink that in one sitting, no problem. And because there's no spillage or very little, you know that what he's getting. Whereas before, you couldn't really be sure how much Joseph was drinking. And now I know how much he drinks on his own when he can control how much he drinks. I often wonder, how often was Joseph thirsty in the past? How often was he dehydrated? So it's a wonderful, empowering thing. It's a simple thing, but it's one little thing that makes a massive difference in our son's life, and we think it could make a difference in many others, in the lives of many other individuals. Thank you. So here we are today, ready to take the next step in bringing the Accessa Cup to everyone who's ever dreamed of taking a drink safely on their own. So we're reaching out to you. It's a simple thing we're trying to do, but it's so important to the individuals who will utilize the cup, not just for good physical health, but surely their mental health as well. And in this era of important empowerment movements and messages for a wide range of marginalized groups, here's one more, perhaps little known, perhaps less vocal, but so important that needs your help. So what will the funds be used for? A large portion will be used for legal fees. We've had a preliminary meeting with a legal group, pro bono, to explore potential patent ability for the Accessa Cup, as well as exploring exploring existing patents that we may potentially infringe upon. So legalities have to be ironed out, and any sort of future legal work will have to be paid for. That's where we're at. We'll need to finalize the 3D model. Joseph and I are not experts, so maybe the cup can be tightened up. Maybe there are features that can be improved upon. Maybe it can be made more watertight. These are things that need to be explored, and maybe there is someone that can help us design, the cup even better than what Joseph and I have been able to do on our own. There are RFQs to be issued to potential partners to provide component parts. There's manufacturing that we've got to figure out. We've got to determine what kind of manufacturing process we'll utilize. Will it be injection molding, something else? We'll have to figure that out and get and contract with somebody to do that with. There are circuit boards we'll need to have printed. Assembly, we'll have to figure out how the cups will be assembled. So all these things will have associated costs. So there's still a lot to be done. But we're asking for your help and support in making an ordinary drink ordinary for everyone. Thank you.